According to unofficial information, up to 300,000 people in the Polish capital protested against the European Green Deal. The Green Deal is a threat to Poland, to all of Europe. We will descend to Africa, and that's all there will be. I am against the Green Deal because we will all pay for it. Exactly how will we pay and in what form can it appear? In everything from our housing to our cars to high energy prices. Will we all pay? All of us. It will affect every Pole. We will have to pay almost 32,000 zloty more per year. All protesters are aware that the Green Deal equals increases. The farmers showed us that this is something that can affect all of us, because if the farmer has to pay more, we will end up having to pay more for the food we eat. Yes, and we will all pay for energy prices too. Exactly the same. After all, ECTS is about 60% of the price of electricity, so if those 60% were removed, energy would be cheaper nationwide. What will this lead to, or even already leads to? The liquidation of industry in Poland. In general, the reduction of various industrial companies that will move out of Europe to China, for example, and we will still have to import various materials from there. Because here, if we are to introduce zero emissions, what sense does it make? This is digging our own grave, so to speak. The strike is also a fight for the sovereignty of our country. They have to give us a Green Deal just to make us fall to the level of the Polish worker of the early 1990s. Then we were good. One direction, Germany and asparagus. No, this is over, and it will not come back. Forcing us to invest in heat exchange, cars. Exactly, before gas was good. Now gas is suddenly bad. What is the point of this? Because you have to buy something, maybe from Germany. For example, windmills from a German company. Siemens Energy, a company that was in poor condition. What did the windmill controversy come from? It is known that there was a beneficiary to push through some legislative changes. So these are foreign interests. You need to act. You need to oppose. You need to be aware. And you have to be aware that the EU regulations that the current government agrees to will lead the European Union to a model of a superstate, in which countries like Poland will be marginalized. I'm afraid that we're going to lose Poland's sovereignty. What's happening now in the European Union is very disturbing, and it's going to affect Poland. We just want to live normally. We are Poles, and we want to defend our order, our homeland. The farmers are defending their farms and Poland's food security. We happen to have meat cattle, to which we are subsidizing as of today. Even now, we have a drought that is quite serious as of today. And what will happen next? We don't know, and prices are very low. Is the Green Deal truly a nail in the coffin then? What we need to realize is that the whole Green Deal affects normal citizens more than it affects the farmers. Until people realize that it affects them more than the farmer, then it will be as it is, and this Green Deal will stay. It's bad, and it's going to get worse, because starting in July, there will be another gigantic energy hike that will affect everyone in Poland, including farmers, and will consequently increase the price of virtually everything. But the Poles are unlikely to count on effective help from Donald Tusk's government. As farmers, we block the border. There is a need to do order, and so far no one has done order with the influx of this bad quality food from Ukraine, which is flooding us, which is flooding our stores. And here all the time farmers are protesting, and our government is deaf to it. Our government does not see it, does not see the protests. Last time we were here on March 6th at this protest, what was done to us? Police squads were brought out. We must all be here. We must unite. We must fight, because these are the last moments to do something. Gazeta Polska clubs from all over the country also protested. Now we simply see that this is heading in such a direction that it will affect all of us. So we just tried to do our own thing. Once again, hundreds of thousands of Poles took to the streets of Warsaw. This voice of protest, down with the Green Deal, will surely be heard by Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk and the Eurocrats, who, without looking at anything, are introducing regulations that will lead to an overpricing for which we will all pay. But this force and this energy cannot be ignored. Adrian Borecki, TV Republika.